podcast. Today is Wednesday, April 3rd, and I have lots of knitting and crochet to share with you. I have several finished objects as well as works in progress. I am so happy to be here talking and sharing about all of the things that I've been up to. I hope that you all had a happy Easter and that your projects are going well. Other places besides YouTube that you can find me, I am cbcraftygirl on Ravelry and on Instagram. And everything I talk about, patterns, will be down in the description box down below. And if ever I don't answer something or you have a question, please feel free to leave a comment about that, or send me a message on Ravelry or Instagram, and I can get back to you that way. So let's get into some finished objects. Let's see. So the first I finished this on Easter Day. I don't really know why it took me so long to do this. Is this little Marshmallow peep bunny, which I think turned out really, really cute. This is, the official pattern name is Mini Marshmallow Bunny Kawaii Cuddler by 3 AM Grace Designs. And this is a crochet project. It calls for a worsted weight, and I believe in the pattern they used Hobby Lobby. I love this yarn, but I did not have a worsted weight yarn in a color that I wanted for the bunny. So I found some fingering weight yarn in my stash. This was a full skein that I decided to break into this really bright, vibrant purple. And I think you are seeing it very vibrant, and it is that vibrant in person too. The yarn is by Mint Rain Yarns in the Night Bus colorway, and I held 2 strands of fingering weight double to sort of get it's probably more of a DK weight gauge held together. So the bunny is probably just slightly smaller than the worsted weight version, but I think he turned out really cute. He really does remind me of the Marshmallow peeps. I think the Marshmallow bunnies, they do have purple, like a purple lavender one. So I think that is so cute. So I will probably hang on to this for an Easter decoration for next year, although I did not get any Easter decorations up this year, except for my goose. I may have talked about my goose a couple times on here. I have a concrete goose on my front porch. Those of you in Indiana, Ohio area, you probably know the concrete goose on the front porch, and we do dress her for different occasions. This is a concrete goose that we inherited from my husband's grandma, and up until last week she had her Valentine dress still on, so now she is adorned in her Easter finery. But other than the front porch, this was the only little Easter decoration that popped up on Easter. But really happy. In the grand scheme of things, he crocheted up really fast. You crochet two of the same bunnies, flat, and then you weave in ends and seam it together. The seaming together was not too hard, except for at the bottom where you started your chain. Those little spaces, or those stitches, were a little tight, so it was a little finicky, but in the grand scheme of things, a pretty quick project. So this would be fun if you have little ones in your life that you'd like to do this for Easter, or even, a baby shower gift, maybe not in the bright purple, but in a different color for a baby would be really fun. So that is my first finished object. The next finished object I have is a pair of socks. And these are the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom socks. That's what I'm calling them. The yarn is called Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. It's by Night Owl Fibers, and it is based on the children's book Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. And I knit this as part of a make-along that is being hosted by Darcy of Chit Chat Knits. She is hosting the Knit Lit Mal, which is a make-along to make knit, crochet, or make something kind of in conjunction with a children's book, and then gift the book to you know, any organization that might need books for children. So it could be little free libraries, it could be a hospital, a daycare, lots of different opportunities. So I do have the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom book. I just forgot to bring it in here, but I think the colors match so nicely. The pattern that I used, you see this fun cable going down the sides. The pattern that I used was by Brenda K2P2 Designs on Etsy, and her pattern is The Road Goes Ever On. And so it's a very easy cable pattern, and I think it's really, really nice in this self-striping yarn. I think it turned out really, really fun. So very, very happy with this pair of socks. Yeah. My third finished object, third and final, is actually 3 things. I have 3 baskets completed. Let's see if I can hold these up and hopefully they don't get too rumpled looking. So I made 3 baskets. The pattern that I used was Gather on Ravelry, and it's by Margaret of Heidi and Lana, or Heidi and Lana. I purchased the kit, or actually 2 kits, 2 yarn kits last year, and I did make a basket. So hopefully you can see over here, I made this basket last year and never completed the other baskets. So I decided I wanted to do that, and I am going to gift a set to my sister for her upcoming birthday in May. So I will keep one of the little ones, but she will get a little one and a big one. So the yarn I used is by Heidi and Lana, and it is on their Farmstead DK, which is 100% merino. The green color is basil, and this gray color is mushroom. And I got these cute little leather tags to put on there. And the pattern comes with 3 sizes of baskets, a small, medium, and a large. This is the medium size, and obviously the others are the small size. And then this small basket, the cream color is called, what is it called? I think I said the yarn wrong. The yarn is Homestead DK, and this cream color is called Farmhouse. That's the colorway, Farmhouse. And then this goldy brown on here is called Toffee. And when I knit, you know, the small basket up, I showed it to my husband Jeff, and we used to have like stoneware soup bowls that looked almost just like this. So it really does remind me of those. We don't have them anymore, but it's kind of a fun reminder of that. So you hold DK weight yarn double. So when I caked up my yarn, I pulled from the center and from the outside and just held 2 strands together. I did it magic loop. I'm trying to think. Magic loop the whole way for the small bowls, magic loop part way for the larger bowl, and then switched to a 16-inch circumference needle. But I think these turned out really sweet, and happy to finally get those completed and have a fun little gift for my sister. So I don't know what she'll use it for, but it could be, you know, one could be used in the kitchen or bathroom to collect small things. I'm sure she'll come up with something. But again, really fun to make these baskets. And you certainly don't need the yarn to, you know, the yarn from Heidi and Lana to make the basket. You know, any DK weight held together, or even a worsted weight yarn held together, is going to be sturdy. Yeah, and I didn't block these, but it said you could, you know, wet the bottom and kind of push it down, and so that's what I did. So the sides aren't the most well shaped. I'm trying, but it does sit flat. So yeah, I'm very happy with these baskets. So those are the items that I completed in the last couple of weeks since I podcast last. So that's pretty good for a couple weeks. And then I have some progress to share on a couple items. I'm going to show my socks. So currently I only have one pair of socks on the needle. It's still sock number 1. This yarn is Sweet Georgia Fibers in the tapestry colorway. The yarn is very, very nice to work with. I was here when I showed it last, so I was maybe an inch away from doing the heel flap and gusset. So I have completed that heel flap, and I am now doing my decreases to get back down to my original number to then continue down the foot. So then it'll be just really easy knitting once I don't have to worry about the decreases anymore. So that will be great. I haven't put a whole lot of work into this, maybe just a couple times of picking it up here and there, but I'm hesitant to cast another pair of socks on, although I really want to. Actually, several pairs of socks I would like to cast on, but knowing myself, I'm gonna be good, and I'm gonna try to finish this sock and its mate, which has not been started, but finish this pair of socks before I cast on another pair of socks. You know, I would like to make another pair of socks for the Knitlit make-along, possibly, if I can, and if I don't finish in time, that's fine. Also, socks from my Make 9 sock board are calling to me, so there are some I definitely want to work on, but I'm enjoying this, and this is really nice to have for on the go in the car when Jeff is driving, you know, to Lincoln. I'm from Nebraska. It's really good to have on hand when my piano students at the college and at the elementary school don't show up, which has happened a couple times recently. So always have my knitting with me. Always be prepared. So that sock. And then I have not worked on, I have one dishcloth still in progress, one crochet dishcloth, using that corner to corner moss stitch pattern. But I only put just the tiniest little bit on, so I haven't even completed the one that I had in progress last time. So the thing that has been getting the most attention besides my finished objects is my Cozy Memories blanket. So I shared it last month, or in the last podcast, and since the last podcast I have added 17 additional squares. So I will show you. This is one that was in progress the last time you saw it. So I finished that one, and this was yarn for a pair of socks for Jeff's aunt. Then this whole top row, this pink it has just the faintest bit of stellina in it, but that is called In Bloom by a Homespun House. I love this color. This has showed up a couple times, but I used this in one of my Kaisa tees, and I used it for heels. Oh, right here. I used it for the heels and toes on my Chicka Boom Boom socks. This gray pretty speckled yarn is by Lolo Did It in the Hippo for Mani Petty colorway. I was excited to find enough of this to put a square in. This is the yarn. It's a Knit Picks hand painted tonal. I want to say Poppy Fields. I could have that wrong, but it's what I made my Salty Air tea in. So really fun adding these and just thinking about all of these projects. You can see I haven't woven in ends yet, but that's not a problem. This pale colorway is by Sassy Strings. It's a Christmas colorway. I don't remember the colorway name, but I did make a pair of, I believe it was a Christmas at Bridgerton sock pattern. Here is the Chicka Boom Boom colorway. This is a leftover mini from an advent calendar. This burgundy color is what I used for Jeff's socks for Christmas of 2023. This pretty speckly blue is a Woolberry Fiber Company in the from her Anne of Green Gables collection in the puffed sleeves colorway. I made a pair of socks this year from Brenda's Designs. It was the Planting Seeds sock pattern. You can tell this is a Christmassy one. This was Night Owl Fibers Christmas 2023, which I made a pair of socks. Here is the yarn from my first Kaisa tee that I was wearing on the last episode, and that yarn is Hobby Lobby Authentic Hand Dyed. This is from Jeff's Christmas socks this year. A little bummed that, you know, I don't have like all of the colors there because it had, you know, like a really vibrant orange in it too. So I almost wish I had cut it and then maybe done some yarn management to put some orange in, but that's okay. Random mini, I don't remember. I have used it for heels, toes, and cuffs. And then this yarn here, I held double with the Surrey that you saw in the last episode where I made those indulgent socks. So the Surrey socks, and that was the base color, which is really pretty. It is by Yarn Cafe Creations. It was a one-of-a-kind colorway, Dig Dug. And then I've started on the next row. This is by Lollipop Yarns. Don't remember the colorway. This is by the Wayward Tint. I love that blue, and I love those darker streaks of blue popping through. And it was a White Christmas reference. I think I'll wash my hair with snow is the reference. And then I am working on this pink, which I believe it did not have a tag with it. It should have a tag with it because it's a full skein of yarn, but I believe that is a Tippy Tree Yarns. It's a Christmas colorway of some kind. So last time when I spoke, so that was 17 new squares since the last time. So I'm really, really enjoying this. And I don't want to put it away. I definitely want to have it finished. So I'm going to keep pressing on. I know somebody in the last episode commented, you know, maybe try to do 2 squares a night, which is a great goal. But sometimes that might be the only knitting I get for the day. So it's really hard to juggle. You know, I don't have that many projects currently right now, but you know, I just want to make everything. But this really is calling to me. So as long as it keeps calling to me, as long as I am enjoying it, I'm going to keep going. I can usually do 2 or almost 2 squares in the evening. It takes me an hour, I believe an hour to do one. I am not a fast knitter when it comes to these squares. And depending on how tired I am, it may take a little more than an hour just because I start stitching slower and my eyes start closing. But mostly it's usually 2 or close to 2 that I get done in the evening. So when I showed this last time, I said that I needed to do 4 more rows at the top of the blanket. So I am on the 3rd row now. So I need to do 3 more rows. So that's the start of the 3rd row to complete, or the first of 3. So the end is definitely in sight. Yeah, very, very excited about that. And then because I finished some projects, my socks and my bowls, I thought, well, I'm going to cast some new things on for April. So yes, both of these were cast on yesterday. Is that right? Yesterday or April 1st, one of those. So I picked one of the projects from my Make 9 new project board. It is the Sand Dune Projects bag by Simply Bound. I'm pretty sure I just started this yesterday. No, 2 days ago maybe. And this is what I have so far. A little hard to see. So that's actually like the top of the bag, but it's a little flimsy to show. So I'm just gonna hang on to it upside down. I am concerned because this is a really, really drapey fabric, which would make a fantastic shawl. I'm not sure exactly how it will be for a bag. You know, I don't know if I'll use it for a project bag, or it might just be for a little market bag, maybe when I go to the farmer's market. The yarn is lovely to work with, but it doesn't feel like it has the sturdiness or structure of like a Lily Sugar and Cream. But let me tell you about the yarn. The yarn is lovely to work with, and I could definitely see myself using this in a summer top of some kind at some point. This is a Barocco Pima 100, so it's 100% Pima cotton. And it is a worsted weight, and it is just beautiful. So it has nice drape, and I think it would have nice drape for a garment, but we will see how it does, how it shapes up for a bag. I am using, I believe it's a size 9 needle, and I'm almost wondering if I should have gone down just to make a little tighter gauge, but I like the pattern that is developing on there. So what happens is you knit the garter on the bottom, and then you knit this lace pattern for like 160 rounds, and then you'll do garter on the bottom, the top, and then you'll seam it up the sides, and then add straps to that. So it's a pretty easy lace pattern. It is a 10 row repeat. And yesterday I was watching TV, and I got really involved in watching a TV show. I can't even remember what it was now. Yeah, I really can't remember, but I got really off and had to tink back a few rows. So, definitely got to pay a little bit of attention to that, but it's not hard. Yeah, so I'm really excited to be working on that from my Make 9 new projects board. And then the final new project that I started, I can't say I cast it on because it's a crochet project. This is what I have so far. And it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it will. This is the Bistro Shawlette, let's see, by Natasha Robarge. This is a crochet pattern on Ravelry. This pattern was in my library and purchased in January. I purchased this pattern in January of 2014. 2014. So over 10 years ago. So I think it's about high time that I get to making something. So I debated about casting on a knit shawl, but then I thought, you know what? I was just looking through some things in my library and I thought, you know what? I think I want to try that. And this will need to be blocked, but the top actually, these aren't picot stitches, but just the way you execute the stitches at the beginning and ends of the row, it almost looks like a lacy little picot edge. But this yarn is absolutely gorgeous, this gorgeous pink, and here it is in the cake. The yarn was gifted to me by Peggy. Hi, Peggy, if you're watching. She and I were swap partners for the 12 skeins of mini skeins of Christmas in the year 2022. And so she gifted me this gorgeous skein of pink yarn. I think I have that right, the year right. So the yarn is by Granite State Yarns in the Blossom colorway. So this just felt like a really nice springy color to use. And it's just going to be a really nice lightweight. It's a shawlette. And I will have inserted a picture so you kind of get the idea of what it will look like. It is, there are 4 different sizes for the pattern. So I think they call it a small, medium, large, extra large. The extra large size is supposed to turn out to 62 inches by 23. So that is what I am going for. It says that should take approximately 450 yards of yarn. This is a 463 yard skein, but it also came with a matching pink mini. So if I need to do the border in an additional color, because I'm going to see what it's like when I do the specified number of repeats. And if it's not as big as I would like, I might go a little bigger. And I can always try to pick something up here that would coordinate and go with the shawl too. I know it's a shawlette. The 62 inches is still a decent-ish size. So I would like it to be a decent-ish size and not too small. So we'll see. Like I said, after I get the number of repeats, then we will see if I want to add some more width and length to it. But this I did start, gosh, I don't know if I think yesterday or today. No, yesterday or Monday. My week is so off. We had Monday off from school. Today is Wednesday. So anyway, recent starts were the shawlette and the sand dune projects bags. So those are the works in progress that I have. Other things that I will get up to this month, we will see. I definitely want to you know, work on these projects, possibly finish the bag and the shawlette this month. Definitely work on putting those squares in. So mostly I do put the squares in the evening. On the weekends, I might do a little bit more, but really enjoying that and finding different yarns that are still in my stash. I have a lot of fingering weight yarn, so leftovers. So it's been really fun. Other than that, I'm not sure what else I will get up to this month, but I will have a video coming out sometime soon after this one with a March recap of stash that I have used and or acquired, and just progress update on how I am doing on my Make 9 boards for 2024. So be looking for that if you are interested in seeing how I am doing so far in the year of 2024. So this felt kind of fast, like I got through my projects kind of fast, but I was really happy to have this afternoon time to spend sharing my projects with you. So thank you so much for spending some of your time with me. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. I would love to hear what you're working on right now. Are you working on spring projects? Do you have lots of whips? Or what upcoming projects are exciting you? Is it spring where you are? We've definitely had hints of spring, and it's in the 50s today, but the wind is howling like crazy outside, which I don't think you can hear down in the basement. So it definitely makes it feel much colder. I mean, still wearing a winter coat with that wind. So yeah, we've had a lot of windy, cold days. We actually had some snow and ice, a little bit of snow and ice last week. So it seems like winter just wasn't ready to let go yet, but the upcoming forecast looks pretty nice. So I think spring is coming. So let me know what your weather is like where you are. Has spring sprung already, or are you in the midst of some snow still? So with that, I will say goodbye, and I hope to see you really soon in the next video. Take care. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.